Hello, everyone, and welcome to another one of our Wednesday webinar series. Today we have Joyce Holoboff with Best Bang for Your Buck songs in Music Play, and we're excited to get started. So, Joyce, I'm going to hand it off to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Danae. Well, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for being here. I'm very excited to share with you a few tidbits that I think are really songs not to be missed in Music Play. So I'm going to jump right into it here. But before I do, I can't do a presentation without acknowledging and remembering with much love and respect my amazing mentor and friend Denise Gagne. She is always in my heart and in my thoughts when I see a video of her on Music Play and anytime I'm doing a presentation. And I also wanted to acknowledge this particular date of September 11th, especially for anybody who might be from the United States. But September 11th is a day of significance for the whole world, I think, and it's a day to always keep in our hearts and keep in our minds. So I just didn't want to let the date go by without acknowledging that as well. So what I am hoping to do today is to share with you some classroom tested, AKA I've done them in my class songs, or my colleague, Allie, who I'm going to talk a little bit more about, has done them with her class. So that's what I mean by classroom tested. They work for me. They teach lots of musical concepts. Could be melodic, rhythmic, harmonic. Often it does them all. The kids like them. If the kids didn't enjoy them, I wouldn't do them because I'm at the point in my life where it's all about the joy. So if I'm not enjoying it or the kids aren't enjoying it, I'm not going to do it. Most of these songs have a really great game or activity that goes with them and multiple approaches to them. So just a little bit more about me. I'm in my 32nd year of teaching. I teach elementary music. I teach primary music. So I teach grade 1, 2, 3, and I teach junior high band in the town of Black Falls, Alberta. And just a big heads up, I put Canada in bold there because that might be a quiz question. Black Falls is in Wolf Creek School Division. It is just north of Red Deer, where the Music Play offices are located and where Denise Gagne is from, was from. So I am also grateful to my colleague here in Black Falls. Her name is Allie Schroeder, and she has armed me with some suggestions for upper elementary because I haven't taught that for a few years. So she gave me some of her best bang songs for upper elementary as well. And this little Nothing Makes Sense Before Coffee, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. So I'm going to jump right in. A lot of the songs that I'm going to show you today are what we would call the classics. They are songs that have been around for a really long time, and I think they've been around for a really long time for a reason, because they really work. So my very first one that I'm doing right now with my grade ones is Hey, Hey, Look at Me. Hey, hey, look at me. I am clapping, you can see. Then we do 8 claps. And if you look at the song in Hey, Hey, Look at Me, which I take you to, I'm going to take you to the link for Hey, Hey, Look at Me. This is an overview of everything that's in that song. You will see that there is clapping and snapping and tapping and patting and stomping within the song. If you don't want to sing it a cappella, then please feel free to use the lyrics, the video, or the notation video. I love that Music Play has so many videos, because the great thing about videos is if you need to change the speed, that option is available to you. I don't think you would need it in this song, but you might need it for other songs. Now, going back to my slides here for a second. Ooh, okay. So many things to do with this song. Movement is the obvious one. After we've done it a couple of times with me leading the movement, then I ask students for suggestions. We do everything from jumping jacks to push-ups to flossing. And my only rule is we can do push-ups, but the kids have to be able to sing while they do the push-ups, and they can do it. So fair game. So movement is awesome. And if you want a little bit more structure to having the kids create their own movement, here is a video where they can create their own movement ideas as well. So it doesn't, you don't have to sing it a cappella if you don't want to. This song lends itself really, really nicely to classroom instruments as well, which again, everything I introduce is in grade 1 because I don't teach kindergarten. If I taught kindergarten, I would certainly do it then. But the instruments, we can introduce our metals and our woods and our drums and our shakers and scrapers with this song. Hey, hey, look at me. I'm playing the woods you can see. Then the woods could play. You get the idea. So it easily lends itself to that. This song, in terms of concepts, obviously beat is a great one. It's a great one for keeping the beat. I really love using this song as the first introduction to ta and titi because there are no rests in this song. So that I love it for that reason. Now, I want to take you back into the Hey, Hey, Look at Me song to show you the projectables. I'm just going to close that out. And if you scroll down a little bit, you're going to see this thing called projectables here. So in here, sorry, I just want to go back. Yeah, and make sure I'm showing you the right thing. Beat and rhythm projectables. I just want to show you some of the resources that are available in this song. So in this one, you can put this up. You can play the vocal track along with it and sing along with it while that you point. Hey, hey, look at me. You get the idea. Then if you go to the next slide, you can do the same things without the words. In this one, it shows you how many sounds on a beat. And then this slide transfers that to the 1 and 2 sounds on a beat, to the ta and titi. If we go back to the beat and rhythm interactive, I really want to show you the interactives as well, because there are so many things within each of these little subheadings. So if you look at this beat and rhythm interactive, there's 8 different activities in here that all have to do with that Hey, Hey, Look at Me song. So I just wanted to make sure that you are aware of all of these features that are available to you. So here's a different way to point to the beat. Put it up on your projector or your smartboard. In this one, I love this interactive beat chart. After you've done this a while, this is a great way to have them audiate. So I could take out those 2, I could block off those 2 beats. So now we are going to sing the first 2, and then we're going to audiate or put in our brain the next 2. Hey, hey, I am clapping, you can see. So the kids could have some fun with that. And that audiation is a really good skill to start practicing early. In this slide, we're going to clap the rhythm. And again, it shows you with a picture whether there's 1 or 2 sounds. This activity, you as the teacher decide whether they're going to sing and stomp the beat or whether they're going to sing and clap the rhythm. In this one, you would play this drum and the students would decide whether that drum is playing the beat or it's playing the rhythm of the song. In this one, now we are going to determine how many claps each of these words get. Well, hey is 1 sound, so it's going to get 1 clap. Look at, or I guess I have to do the other one. Look at is 2 sounds, so it gets 2 claps. And I don't know about you, but my students love to come up to the projector and take turns doing these things. So it's really a great way to keep your kids engaged. Once you've done the 1 and 2 sounds on a beat, then we can transfer that to the stick notation as well. And then the very last thing in these interactives is creating your own 4-beat rhythm. Again, you could have the kids come up and create their rhythms. You could play those on instruments. You could put it on body percussion. So many things just in 2 little tabs within that song. Now, in terms of melody, I also like this song because it's the first song that I used to introduce So and Me. So again, going back to those interactives, there are melody interactives as well. I'm going to show you this prepare solfa interactive. So here's the song. This one, we're going to just show how the notes go high and lower. So when it's high, we're going to move high. When we sing low, we're going to move low. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. But I went out of the prepare solfa, sorry. In this one, the pencils show you when it's going higher and lower. And then in this one, we're going to use these little melody cards to show us, hey, hey. So that one's going to go with the first beat. Look at, or first phrase, look at me. So lots of things within the solfa interactives as well. I also have to show you this interactive tone ladder. This you can find in your toolbox, but it's also in Hey, Hey, Look at Me. So this is a tone ladder that's got all of the Kodai hand sign notes of the scale. But for Hey, Hey, Look at Me, I only want so and me. So I can take away the ones that I don't want. And now I can just point and we can do the hand signs. Hey, hey, look at me. All right, so I just wanted to make sure that I show you all of those features and things that you can do with that song. I'm also going to show you the staff tool that is in the toolbox. If you don't know about the toolbox, you definitely want to explore this as well. So this is, I call this the mother menu. I'm sure it's called the main menu or something more nice like that. This is where you're going to find the toolbox down near the bottom. And I would highly encourage you to take a few minutes at some point and explore that toolbox, because there are just all sorts of really useful things in there. This particular tool that's in the toolbox is called the staff tool wide. And this is what I use to introduce So and Me with my students. And again, this is an interactive tool I'm going to have up on my projector. And when I introduce So and Me, I'm going to start with so on the top line and me on the bottom line. So I've just got 2 lines. And at the beginning, I can move the dots up, and I want to make sure that they go right in the middle. So I show students how to write notes correctly in the middle of the staff. And then later on, I can have the students come up and show so and me. When it's time to introduce so and me on spaces, then I'm going to go to this 3-line staff. And I'm going to put the notes in the spaces. So I definitely wanted to show you that staff tool as well. All right. Now, I want to talk a little bit about introducing So and Me, just in case this is something that's relatively new to you, or I'm just going to show you how I do it. So with Hey, Hey, Look at Me, after we've done the song for a few times, I'm going to, the next day, say, does this song start with a high sound or a low sound? If you think it starts with a high sound, stand up and show me a tall body. If you think it starts with a low sound, crouch down and show me a low sound. Don't let them sit on the floor, because we're going to move high and low. And then after we've heard it 2 or 3 times, after I've sung the beginning 2 or 3 times, I just sing. Then they decide, does it start with a high sound or a low sound? We determine that it starts with high. Then we move our whole bodies high and low. And we sing, hey, hey, look at me. I'm showing high and low. You can see. You get the idea. Next day, we're going to progress that one step further. We're going to review if it starts with a high sound or a low sound. But this time, we're just going to stay seated, and we're just going to move our arms high and low to show high and low. Next day, then I'm going to start introducing the hand signs. I'm going to share with you just a couple of little tricks that I have learned from other people. When I'm introducing so, the hand sign I've always been taught goes by your smile. But to introduce it, instead, we put it in front of our face and we clean off our mirror and we look into it and we say, so am I ever good looking? I wish that I had come up with this myself. I don't know where I learned it, but I do want to give credit to somebody in the universe out there who taught it to me. So that's so. So am I ever good looking? Don't let them leave it in front of their face because we need it to go beside our smile. We want to see our mouths. Then me, of course, is super easy because when we turn our hands like this, who do our thumbs point to? Oh, they point to me. So that's how I introduce so and me with the hand signs. When I'm writing them, I have a little song, and I know I learned this one in university, and it goes like this. If so is on a line, then me is on a line, and everything is fine. All right, so that's so. And then if so is on a space, if, oh, I hope I didn't do the same note. If so is on a space, then me is on a space, and see my happy face. And then we make our beautiful happy face. So that's how I introduce so and me. And that's all with Hey, Hey, Look at Me. So it is just an amazing song that can teach so many things. Last thing I'm going to say about this song, and all the other so me songs that you're going to use to reinforce so and me, so you can do a super, super quick assessment. Here is a less than 10-second assessment of a student singing her own so me song. Now, this is not in September or October. This is more like April or May. So we're almost at the end of grade 1, and we've had a ton of exposure to so and me. Here you go. Hey,
Hey, look at me. I am singing, you can see.
So right away, in less than 10 seconds, I've got a video that I can put in her online portfolio. I can be making an assessment about how well she's singing on pitch. I can make an assessment of how well she's doing that hand sign. And I've had very, very few students, especially in grade 1. Usually they have no inhibitions yet. So they are more than happy to take their turn singing their song and making a video. Here's some other so me songs that, and they also have ta and tt rhythms that you could consider if you don't like Hey, Hey, Look at Me, or if you want additional songs for reinforcement. Engine number 9 is a song I'm doing right now with my grade 2s because it's a great review. We're at the beginning of grade 2. We're going to remember so and me. We're going to remember ta and tt, but we're going to take it one step further with grade 2s. I've got a note here. They love this lame game. Okay. This is, I think, the lamest game ever, but this is how we play engine number 9 in my class. Myself and another student make a tunnel like this. We're standing up. The rest of the class lines up on this side of the tunnel. They don't make a train with shoulders or anything like that. They just walk through. We walk through, we sing the song. When we get to the end of the song, will I get my money back? We bring our hands down, and whoever is there makes the next tunnel. I don't know why, but they love it. And to take that one step further, then I've started to introduce tempo to my grade 2s. So if they are the next person who's making the tunnel, now they are also choosing a tempo. And I wanted to make sure that you know about these tempo posters that are within MusicPlay. So these are posted in my classroom. And this is what I am using to help them. So they can choose, they can say the animal. Very few of them at this point are saying the tempo name yet. But every time they choose an animal, they choose the bear. I say moderato. They repeat moderato. And then we do the game at that tempo. Here's some other so me songs that I love. Counting song in kindergarten and grade 1, but I sing 1, 2, tie my shoe, because tie my shoe is a tee-tee-taw. Buckle my shoe is a tika-tee-taw. And I'm not ready for tikas yet in grade 1. So I change it to tie my shoe. Buy low baby, oh, if you don't know it, it's a little lullaby that's in MusicPlay. We sing. And the first few couple of times we sing and we rock our babies. And we talk about lullabies and we talk about dynamics, because if we sing loudly, we're going to wake the baby. And if we rock too, and then we talk about tempo, because if we rock too fast, we're going to wake the baby. So it's nice to have a quieter, slower song. But to keep the buy-in, especially with the little boys, after a couple of days, we change it. We can sing Buy Low Puppy-O, or Buy Low Kitty-O, or Buy Low Bearded Dragon-O, or whatever pets they have that they would like to rock while we sing the song. Rain, Rain, Go Away and Starlight are also great ones for introducing Ta and Titi. Now, this is not introducing Ta and Titi, but these are winners, just and on the tiniest off chance that you haven't heard of them. So Magic Spell is a great song. I introduced this in grade 1, and it's called Magic Spell for a reason, I think, because every single child will sing this song. It's amazing. It's like magic. It does have a witch in it. I'm a very tricky witch. A spell I'll cast on you. I say to the kids right away, am I a witch? Of course not. This song is just imagination. Can I cast a spell on you? Of course not. But if there may be students who don't discuss witches, who don't celebrate Halloween. In that case, you can also look at I Can Pretend in MusicPlay. It has the same idea. The form is A, B, A, B, A, B. In the A section, you sing the song. In the B section, you have 3 children suggest an animal, and in the B section, they move around the room in their own space, pretending to be that animal. And when I count them down, they come back to their place, and we sing A again, and then we go off and move like a different animal. It is a winner. And of course, Sleepy Bunnies. It's like a cult classic in MusicPlay, but it is a good song for teaching or reinforcing loud and soft and fast and slow. So moving along to more of my best buck songs. I Like You. Again, this is a classic song. In university, I learned the Bow Wow Wow version, and it's got Old English. I'm just going to get my note here. Bow, wow, wow, whose dog art thou? Little Tommy Tucker's dog, bow, wow, wow. Still works. Over the years, Denise adapted it into a Valentine song. Will you be my Valentine? I like you. That's how I introduce it to my students. The reason that I love this song is there are so many concepts in it. It has rests. It has 3 rests. So this is a great song for introducing rest. It is a great song for, in grade 2, introducing Ray, because there's only 1 Ray in it right there. In grade 3, we can read and write Ray again. Also, there are same and different rhythmic phrases in it. So this phrase and this phrase and this phrase are all the same. Or we can say the phrases are A, B, A phrases. So many concepts that you can teach just within the song, aside from the fact that it's got a great game in grade 1. And before I go and show you the game, there is also a Christmas version. I think Denise created this one too. Ho, 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 look at Santa go, bringing toys for girls and boys. Ho, ho, ho. And there is a French version. And I did want to mention, MusicPlay has been working really hard to get as much French content as possible. At this point, almost everything in grade 1 through 3 is also done in French. And they are currently working on grade 4. The great thing about MusicPlay is it's like a living thing. It is always evolving and adding more. So always check out what's new in MusicPlay as well. And that's what I said here as well. When you go into, if you've been using a song forever from MusicPlay, go back and look into it again. Because when I went and looked and hey, look at me, I'm just going to close this for a second. There were things that I didn't know were there. These Bobo, are new, and I had not seen those before. So even if it's a song that you've used for a long, long time, go back and check it out because there might be new things as well. Okay, in case you don't know the I Like You game, it is an awesome one for kindergarten or grade 1. So you've got friends looking at one another. Then you take those group of 2 friends, all those groups of 2 friends, and you make them into one big circle. And their 2 friends are facing one another. So they're going to have their backs to another friend. And I'll just show you very quickly how this game works.
I like you, yes I do. Will you be my valentine? I like you.
When they jump and turn, now they've got a new friend and they do it again with their new friend.
I like you, yes I do. Will you be my valentine? I like you.
And they jump and turn and they've got a new friend again. So I just love this game. I love doing it at the beginning of grade 1 because the first time they do it, they're vibrating with the fact that they jump and turn around and there's a new friend. If they do it correctly, which won't happen the first time, when they do it correctly, they should end up back with their first friend. The reason that it doesn't work out sometimes is because instead of trading places with their friend, they go all the way around. Do not let them go all the way around. Practice trading places with their friend. Then they jump and turn and they will get a new friend. And of course, you can turn this after Valentine's Day, change it to a friendship song. I like you, yes, I do. Will you be a friend of mine? I like you. And of course, there is Bobo on the website for this one as well. So many things, such a great, great song as well. Here's another classic. From grade 2. And this is one of those so simple that it's genius songs. Bounce high, bounce low. Bounce high, bounce low. Bounce the ball to Mexico. Now, when I learned this song in university, we also sang a second phrase. Bounce high, bounce low. Don't bounce it on your toe. And we talk about, well, why do you not want a ball to bounce on your toe? Oh, because it might hurt. And also it's going to bounce away from you. So I always add that phrase, but you could just limit it to the one phrase there, to the first phrase that I've listed there. I do this in grade 2. And I do it early in grade 2. I have sung law songs in grade 1, but in grade 2, we're really going to reinforce and read and write law as well. So this is a great song near the beginning of grade 2 for introducing law. And again, the simplicity of it, when we sing the word high, we are singing the high note law. When we sing the word low, we are singing the low note me. It's brilliant. All right. So now this is a great song for reinforcing beat and strong and weak beat. I'm going to show you balls, but first, before I use balls in my classroom, we use imaginary balls. So we reach in our imaginary pocket and we take out a ball. And because it's imaginary, it can be any size of a ball. So it could be like a great big exercise ball, or it could be a teeny tiny super bouncy ball. And then we just bounce it on our imaginary balls and catch them on the beat. Bounce high, bounce low, bounce the ball to Mexico. And then, of course, I would sing the second phrase as well. After we practice with our imaginary ones, often we put that one away, reach in our other imaginary pocket and take out a different imaginary ball. Then I'm going to add some real balls. Now, I use tennis balls because I have lots. They're easy to get. But if you find that these are too small for your students, then feel free to use larger balls. If I'm borrowing some, I tend to be the person who borrows things from the gym equipment room and then beg forgiveness later. But see what's in your gym equipment room as well. Tennis balls work for me, even in grade 2. But with any anything that you're using, you need to have a resting position. I just made up this resting position for when we're using balls, because you need to have a position where they're not making any sound or movement with whatever prop you're using so that you can give instruction. So this is resting position. And then we're just going to bounce it on the beat. And it's a bounce and a catch. We talk about it's not a dribble. Bounce high, bounce low, and so on. If you think that tennis balls are too chaotic, you could use them, but instead of standing up, sit down on the floor and make a little fence between, open your legs up wide, so you've got a little fence in between, and just bounce and catch between your legs. That way they're only bouncing about that high. So there's lots of ways to bounce and catch. Oh, and one additional way that I just saw the other day on Instagram. This one lady is wonderful. Kristen Luco. She is also a contributor on MusicPlay as well. And the other day on Instagram, she had an idea. She had her class in a circle. She had a great big tub in the middle, and she had wheels below it. And they had one big kind of medium-sized bouncy ball. One student had the ball. They sang the song. They sang the whole song. And then that student had one bounce to bounce it and to get it into that bucket in the middle. So, and she was doing that, looked like with a little bit older, like grade 3 or 4 students. So it was a great idea. She is a great person to follow. She has lots of wonderful ideas. This song, in addition to teaching law, is also good for ta and titi. There's no rests in this song, so it's a great one for reinforcing ta and titi at the beginning of grade 2. After we have sung it and bounced our balls for a while, then we're also going to do some rhyming. So we're going to bounce it to other places. This is the tricky part. The place that we bounce it to has to end with an O sound. My students can think of lots of places that start with O, but to think of words that end with O or places that end with O is trickier. So we start off with things like bounce the ball to Costco, bounce the ball to Domino's, as in pizza. Then we venture further. We talk about bouncing the ball to Toronto, which is a big city in Canada that has a big hockey team. Bounce the ball to Ohio or Orlando. So we venture further over time. So that's bounce high, bounce low. Here are some other So Me La songs that I also find are great and great for reinforcing. Snail, snail. Plainsies, Clapsies is a super fun beanbag challenging game. Find the song in MusicPlay is called Find the Easter Basket. I change it to Find the Yellow Basket, just because I'm in a public school. I'm in a school that still celebrates Easter and Christmas, but I just tend to keep it more generic that way. Doggy Doggy Where's Your Bone is another classic game, and it's a great one to do with your grade 2s. But I did want to mention something that I discovered with my grade 3s. My recorder just fell down, so I got to get it. So I will be doing a session on recorders in early January. So I'm not going to spend long talking about recorders right now. But if you have your students in grade 3 or grade 4, I introduce it in grade 3 just because I love recorders. We just came up with this little game last year to go with Doggy Doggy. So Doggy Doggy is in Recorder Kit 1, which is what I use with my beginning recorder students. And we were playing it, and the kids said, well, can we do the Doggy Doggy song with recorders? And so we had to think about it a little bit. And the way we adapted it was somebody sits at the front with their back to the class, and instead of identifying a voice, they're going to identify whether one of their friends plays a B or an A or a G. So we sing, doggy, doggy, what's that note? Somebody stole it from your home. What is the note? That's all we did. It doesn't rhyme, but it turned into a fun recorder game. Little Tommy Tittlemouse, very similar to Doggy Doggy in terms of the game, in terms of a voice identification game. So that's another winner as well. All right, moving right along. My students love this song. This is We Are Playing Games Together. This is a wonderful song for introducing do, because there is only one do right at the end of the song. This song used to be called Icka Backa Soda Cracker. We don't use that version anymore because it has been determined that it has derogatory implications in it. So now that we know better, we do better. So Denise changed the words to We Like Playing Games Together. Super simple melody. We like playing games together in our class at school. Be good sports if you go out, because that's the rule. So it's got so and la and me and do. So it's a really nice one for introducing do or reinforcing do. But my students love the game. And the way we play the game is we play it like a hot potato beanbag game. If you can get your students to pass a beanbag on a beat, congratulations. You need to give me lessons. Whenever my students pass a beanbag, it becomes hot potato. So that's the way we play it. We sit crisscross applesauce, we pass the beanbag, hot potato, and if you have it on the word rule, then you are out of the game. Now, what to do with students who are out? Okay, in my class, they go and get a non-pitched percussion instrument. So they go choose one instrument, but they are only allowed to play it on the words in this song that rhyme, which are school and rule. So then they're only going to play those instruments twice. If they're playing at other times, they might have to put their instruments away. So this works out really well for me. It's like a win-win because the kids love to play instruments. So they don't mind if they're out because they know they still get a job to do. And we can play all the way until there's one person left, as long as everybody's singing. And my rule about games is no song, no game. If they're not singing, then we're not playing the game. Now, other things to do, other ways to handle those elimination games. Instead of the person who has the beanbag on the word rule, instead of being out, they get to choose the next tempo that we sing the song at. So they can stay in the game and you just do whatever tempo they choose. Again, using those tempo posters. Or when they are out, they pick a flashcard rhythm. I'm going to see if I can find an easy one here. They pick a flashcard rhythm from your stash of flashcards, and they say it and clap it first, and then everybody else says it and claps it, and then we all go back and we do the game again. So there's lots of ways to handle that elimination without chaos of people sitting around with nothing to do. All right, so that song, we like playing games together, to introduce do. It's a simple extension of what I did for so and me. So I just sing it like this. If so is on a line, then me is on a line, and do is on a line, and everything is fine. Same with so on a space. If so is on a space, then me is on a space, and do is on a space, and see my happy face. So we just extend that. In grade 1, I have them experience songs with do. The next song I'm going to talk about is one of those. In grade 2, then we're going to read do and write do as well. After we've really reinforced law, of course. Now, if you want some other do songs, there's BB Bumblebee, Peas Porridge Hot, which they love to do as well. Johnny One Hammer, which is a great movement song, and it's a good ab workout for you. Apples, Peaches, Pears, and Plums is another great song as well. If you want any more details on any of those, you can feel free to email me at any time too. But Apple Tree, this is another song that has do. And this one I do use in grade 1. So they're going to experience do, but they are not going to be doing anything more with it than that in grade 1. They're going to sing it in grade 1. This version of Apple Tree is set on high D, which is way too high for me. So I'm going to go back to my good old G. Apple tree, will your apple fall on me? I won't cry, I won't shout if your apple knocks me out. In grade 1, we do a lot of beat keeping with this song. And I'm going to quickly show you not the greatest example, but an example of how I play this game. Oh, sorry. There it is. All right. So these are grade 3s who are doing this example. And you're going to see that she takes my golden apple and everybody's got their hands out and she's going to keep the beat on everybody's hands as she goes around the circle. She chose presto. Okay, where are you going to start? 1, 2, here you go.
Apple tree, will your apple fall on me? I won't cry, I won't shout, even if it knocks me out.
So that's basically how I play this apple tree song. At the beginning of grade 1, we will not be going that fast. I will be establishing a nice moderato tempo for us, but we will learn that game. Now, same thing. If you have the apple on the word out, then you get to take the apple and go into the middle next and keep the beat. So in grade 1, near the end of grade 1, I can do an assessment of how well they're keeping the beat on other people's hands. When they've had their turn doing that, then they go over and choose a non-pitched percussion and we play quietly on the beat. Now, that's what was supposed to happen in my video, but my grade 3s forgot that they were supposed to play the beat and not the rhythm. So it's a great beat keeping game. I use it as a beat keeping game. And in grade 2, then I will add those tempo terms that we're looking at in grade 2 and beyond. But I also want to point out with Apple Tree, this song has so much more. If you look under the Chicken Little story in MusicPlay, there is a whole script of the Chicken Little story, complete with sound effects using classroom instruments. So it would be a great little, I've done it just in class with students, but it would be a great little assembly piece as well. And it incorporates this Apple Tree song also. So be sure to check out Chicken Little when you have a chance. So that is Apple Tree. Okay, moving right along. Good old hot cross buns. So again, these are classics for a reason, and I think that that's because it works. Okay, so in grade 1 and 2, we are going to do the simplest of clapping games. Just a clap hands and an out like this. Hot cross buns, hot cross buns. Good for keeping the beat. In grade 2, we can try and start going across. I forget what that movement is called, but I know it's good for our brains. Okay, obviously I need more of it. Okay, so in grade 2, we can add that clapping game. Beyond that, and of course in grade 2, we could also clap at different tempos as well. Denise also liked to do this version for we older ladies. Hot cross buns, hot cross buns. So you may or may not wish to do that with your students, but I wanted to share that one with you. Okay. Hot cross buns is a mi, re, do melody. So it is a wonderful song for introducing mi, re, do. And of course, in grade 3, it is, or whenever you introduce recorders, it is a classic. I always joke that my students think when they've played hot cross buns that they've made it, right? They have reached the summit of recorder playing when they can play hot cross buns. Just so that you're aware, there's also a great game in MusicPlay called 7-Up. And it's just like the good old 7-Up like this, only it uses the hot cross buns melody. Now, in my class, don't know if you can see, but I have no chairs in my class. My students sit on the floor. So for Music 7-Up, we just cover our eyes, we have our head down on the floor, and we put our thumb up like this. I also only do 4 up so that it's not doesn't take quite so long for the guessing to take place. Okay, I think that's everything with music or with hot cross buns and music 7-up. Now we got to get into some higher concept things here for your upper elementary kids. 16th notes, tika tikas. Had a chicken. Denise came up with this song. And I love it because it's only got one set of 16th notes in it. It's a great one for isolating 16th notes. And it's also got the eighth to dotted quarter, just in a couple of places here. Oh, and it also has a syncopa if you are wanting to isolate those concepts as well. I have to show you this game. I'm going to show it to you, and then I'm going to suggest some variations.
Have a chicken to run so fast, hooray, hooray. Every race I come in last, hooray, hooray. Have a chicken to run so fast, hooray, hooray. Every race I come in last, hooray, hooray.
So my suggestion for how to chicken is, don't use your best egg shakers. Like if you've got really nice expensive LP egg shakers, do not use those for how to chicken. I would suggest doing it in a small group like that, but you might want to just make some egg shakers. If you were a music teacher in the summer of 2020, many of us sat around our houses making homemade egg shakers to go in our little instrument bags so that each of our students would have some instruments to play and not have to share. So I have quite a collection of these homemade egg shakers. So if these ones happen to get dropped on the floor and break, I'm not going to be sad. Alternatively, how about rubber chickens? I found these at Dollar Tree. They're just like this high. They're super cute. So instead of shaking, had a chicken who could run so fast, hooray, hooray, or sorry, hooray, hooray. Every race I'd come in last, hooray, hooray, and then toss it to your friend. Now, these are super cute chickens, but they do make a sound. So don't say that I didn't warn you. So you may or may not want to try those, or you may want to have a little squeak at the, give everybody a chance to do some chicken sounds at the end. Or maybe you just want to use your bean bags. Same way. Jump so fast, hooray, hooray. Lots of ways to play that game. If you are looking for another great song with 16ths, the clock round is also a nice one and a great obvious song for singing around. Here's another great 16th song. This one has several sets of 16ths. So this might be your...
Joyce.
Yes.
Sorry, just to interrupt, just to give you a heads up for time, we have about 13 minutes left.
Thank you very much. Okay.
No problem. We don't have a huge list of questions, so we should probably be okay for like 7-ish minutes for question time.
Okay.
So,
sounds
yeah.
good. Oh, Katie, I saw your question about carpet. Yes, I do have carpet in my music room, and I just use different colors of duct tape. So I have 4 curved rows that have colored duct tape on them. And our rule, we learned this in grade 1, 2 hands never touch the colors. And that way, hopefully, they will not touch them with their fingers and pick them off. So yes, I just have them sit on the floor. So playing in the house. Let me get the right key. Playing in the house, playing in the house, playing in the house all day. We like playing in the house, playing in the house, playing in the house all day. So this one, obviously, to me, it's obvious that it lends itself to playing instruments. And it's a great song for teaching rondo form. Rondo form is A, B, then we go back to A, then we have C, so something different. Then we go back to A, and then we always have to start and end with A. I want to show you this version of playing in the house. This is one of those projectables that's within the playing in the house song. So here is that slide. We can sing along with the vocals, or if my kids are great singers, we can sing just along with the accompaniment. But I like this one because we're going to sing along, and it's going to show us that we're in the A section, and then it's going to show us a B section where we're playing sticks and then metals and then woods. I'm not going to play you the whole thing, but I'm just going to show you a bit.
Playing in the house, playing in the house, playing in the house all day. We like playing in the house, playing in the house, playing in the house all day.
Now here's Now it says create or improvise. Grade ones, I wouldn't recommend improvising in grade one. I would recommend maybe we play the beat, or maybe you've got a pattern written on the board, or maybe you've got a flashcard. But by the time they're in grade two, I've discovered if you say you can choose ta or tt or rest for 16 beats, they will give you some sort of reasonable improvisation. And it's a good skill to learn. So there's that B section with the sticks. Then we're going to go back to singing the A section again. And then we're going to go on to our C section, which is the metals playing. So lots of reinforcement for instruments and teaching of rondo form. Now, while I'm talking about instruments, this is another tool that I really like that's in the toolbox. It's called the instrument family sort. So when I'm doing these classroom instruments in grade one, after we've had lots of exposure to them, I'm going to put this up on the board, and we are going to decide what family each of these belong to. So the cowbell is going to go in the metals. The bongos are going to go in the drums. Now, why are there two tambourines? Well, we talk about the fact that, oh, they've got metal shakers on them, so they could go in the metals, but they could also obviously be a shaker or a scraper. And again, same thing with bells. So after we've done this all together as a class, then I'll have students come up and take a turn. It's just a great little tool for reinforcing the instrument families. This is also a pentatonic song. So if you want to reinforce so, la, mi, re, or do, it's a good one for that as well. Now, Frère Jacques or Raindrops Round, if you're looking for other songs with 16ths, those are some other choices as well. Okay, moving right along, because I want to make sure I get through some of the upper elementary stuff. And again, here's another classic. Skin and Bones. If you don't know this one, it is introduced in MusicPlay in grade 3. So fun to sing the first time, because the very first time I sing it, I do it for my grade 3s. I don't tell them what it's about. I don't say anything. I just sing the song. And then at the end, she opened the door and oh! So the very first time I do it, of course, they're going to all have a little jump. That same day, I give them the lyrics so that we can sing it all together, so they can take it home and sing it to someone at their house who doesn't know the song. And then they get that thrill of giving someone a little jump too at the end. So it's a great song for dynamics. It's a minor song, which we just don't have nearly enough songs in a minor key. This song also has low la in it. It's a great song for reinforcing low la. Depending on what level you're teaching, if you're upper elementary, this song is in 6/8 time. If you are in grade 3, in the recorder version of this song, it is in 3/4 time. I'm going to show you. So this is the recorder version that's in grade 3. And I also wanted to mention, I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be doing another one on recorders. These Recorder Kit 1 songs, I love these. They will show the kids the fingers that they're supposed to be playing as the song goes. But you can see this one's in 3/4 time, not in 6/8 time. And a really great way to practice this second phrase is to sing the first phrase and then play the second phrase like this. was an old woman, all skin and bones. She lived down by the old graveyard. And do that for the whole song. So instead of singing those oohs, you're going to play them on recorder. Really great way to get them to practice that big phrase with just the one tongue and then holding that extra tied note. All right, this song is also great. Because it's a one chord ukulele or guitar song. And here's my ukulele. And even though it's in E minor, which is 3 fingers, it's just, we don't have to move our fingers at all. We don't have to change chords. So it's a nice one for playing on your ukulele as well. There are Orff arrangements of this song and boom whacker arrangements of this song in MusicPlay. So lots of things to do with that song. Built My Lady. I love this this song because of the
Hi, Joyce. Sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt here. We're at the 5-minute mark before we have to wrap up.
No way. Oh
I
my
know,
goodness.
right?
Okay,
Time flies.
so I'm going to just quickly tell you, check out the game for Built My Lady. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry I took too long. Chester is an awesome one for practicing tempo. La Bamba is so many things. This is my Allie, my upper elementary partner. She uses this one. Try it with ukulele and guitar and the 7s. Scooby-Doo is a great jazz one that Allie says her grade 6s will sing. What a Wonderful World is another one that Allie says her kids really like. And Mango Walk has so many upper elementary activities, including djembe. Okay, I'll stop talking now. Oh, sorry I took too long.
No worries, no
I
worries. No worries about it. That was like a lot of information. It was like very rich in information, ideas, and tips. And you covered like, several concepts and games. We have a couple questions. One of them is if you could maybe show again where to find the solfa ladder on the song.
Yep. All right. Let's see if I can do this quickly. All right. I'm just moving things around on my screen here. Yeah. Technology. I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm not terrible, but I'm not the greatest either. Okay. So I'm going to go here into MusicPlay and I'm going to check if it's in the toolbox. Tone ladder. Okay, so it's in the toolbox. Let's see if this one is interactive. Yes, it is. So it's in the toolbox and it is called Tone Ladder Octave. Now, I also showed it in Hey, Hey, Look at Me. And in Hey, Hey, Look at Me, it is in these interactives right here. You can see it's linked in there. It's same tool.
Yeah, and there are several songs that have that tone ladder, and usually that's where people would find it under the interactives.
Yeah, under the interactives.
Yeah. Can you show the flashcards in the camera, the ones that you were talking about,
absolutely.
and we like playing games together?
Okay, so these flashcards, MusicPlay used to have these whole set of flashcards, and they start from the very, very easiest all the way up to some very, very more difficult concepts. I don't know if MusicPlay, do you guys still sell them or have them somewhere? See, here's a much more upper elementary concept. Otherwise, there's lots of places that you can find those flashcards on Teachers Pay Teachers. I'll bet you can find them for free somewhere.
And one more question about if you have any suggestions for teaching in a triple graded classroom. The participant here has 23 students in grades 1, 2, 3.
Wow. Well, bless you. And I mean, grade 1, 2, 3, the great thing about primary is that they're still keen to do no matter what. I would suggest starting with as many of the fundamental things as you can. So like the hey, hey, look at me. But the grade threes, they're going to tire of that really, really quickly. So, oh, thanks, Stacy, for linking the flashcards. Now, if the grade threes are tiring of that or finding that that's a little bit babyish, then maybe you can have the grade threes do more of the leadership things. Have your grade threes grade threes take a turn being the leaders of your welcome song. So I use welcome to music, or I use time for music. But welcome to music is an echo song. So have your grade threes be the leaders first. And one grade three sings welcome to music and everybody echoes. Have your grade threes do some of those leadership lead some of the games. And there's no reason to, just because a song is listed as grade three, there's no reason why grade ones can't do it if they can sing the melody and if they can play the game. So I would start with the grade one, and I would start with the grade two materials as much as you can to get buy-in from your grade threes. And then get those grade threes, like I say, involved in leadership roles. And then, yeah, but the grade threes are the ones that you are really going to need buy-in from as well. So if you find that you are losing them, then try to find at least one or two songs that you know that, well, if we do this, then we're going to be able to do that song as well. Something really great is Four Corners Rhythms, which you can start with very easy levels. It's all in MusicPlay under games. Start with the easiest levels, and they will love that forever. Poison Rhythms is another one that all levels will love. So just a few initial thoughts. But if you want more ideas, please email me. I'd be happy to give it some more deep thought.
That's excellent. Thank you very much. A reminder that the webinar, our webinars are recorded and they're available for viewing at your convenience. If you missed part of it or you would like to revisit the from the parts of the presentation. Thank you very much, Joyce, for the presentation, and thank you as well to our participants for joining us on Zoom and via YouTube.